Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We'll get started right at 2 o'clock. The people are still trickling in. All right, it is 2 o'clock, so I'll go ahead and start. Hi, everyone. Welcome to New Student Orientation. We are so thrilled to have all of you here. We're so excited for this next step in your academic journey. So today we're going to be going over a lot of helpful tips and tricks, helpful resources. We're going to introduce you to some people and again, some resources that are going to help support you along the way. I do want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Erin. I'm the Student Success Manager here at CIET, and I oversee our incredible team of Student Success Advisors who are going to be your go-to support from start to finish throughout your program. They're going to be here for guidance, encouragement, whatever you need, they're going to be there to help you. We're going to be joined by several departments today, but I'm going to call a quick special attention to our enrollment coordinators. They have been working with your admissions advisors to ensure you have a smooth onboarding and also ensure that you are registered for your very first course. They're also going to be very active in the chat and sharing important links that you're going to want to be sure to save and bookmark, okay? And before we get started, I do want to let everyone know that this call will be recorded. So if you miss anything, you want to revisit a section, you're going to have access to this recording to be able to go through it again if need be. We're also, to keep things smooth, distraction-free, we have muted everybody, but we will be able to unmute that at the very end for question and answers. And then finally, if you are utilizing military benefits, please be sure to attend our military brief that's going to start at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be a great opportunity for you to be able to get all of your questions answered in regards to your benefits. All right, so I'm going to quickly share my screen here. And then once I do so, if you guys could just give me a quick thumbs up just to make sure you have visibility. All right. Let's see. If you can give me just some thumbs up, make sure you guys see that. Great. Awesome. Wonderful. All right, so let's get started. So these are going to be some of the things we're going to be covering today. We're going to go over our first course preparation, key steps that you're going to want to make sure to complete before your courses begin on Monday. So our goal is to make sure you're set up for success and it's run smoothly. We'll go over the types of support and services we have for you guys. We take pride in the service we provide our students, so we'll review that. We'll go over into some practical strategies and tips for success. They're help to keep you organized and motivated, confident, and really set you up for that long-term success throughout your program. We're going to review the value of industry certifications and how they can enhance your career opportunities. Then we're going to go over our next course preparation. So how are we going to get from that first course into the next? We'll introduce you to, again, like I said, different departments. We have our career services on the line as well as our financial aid team. They're going to go over information and resources available to you, and we will open it up for question and answers at the end. So I'm going to quickly just check and see if we have anything. Or we want to make sure, are we able to hear me okay? Just check the chat. You guys can give me a thumbs up if you can't hear me. I want to make sure you guys can hear me all right. Okay, perfect. So preparing for day one, you guys will start your classes on Monday, June 8th. And we want to make sure you take care of a few key steps and things that are going to set you up for success. First up is understanding all of your platforms, making sure you have access and you understand which platform is intended for what. So the first step is going to be your student portal. The portal is going to be your home base. This is going to be the first place you're going to go to set everything up. It's where you're going to have access to your student email, your course schedule, have access to tools and resources, including Canvas. And Canvas is going to be your academic hub. And this is going to be where your virtual classroom lives. It's going to be where you do your assignments, you have your grades, your discussion boards, course materials. You're also going to be able to locate your course syllabus, which I highly recommend all of you go into your course, locate that syllabus and review that, because it's going to give you a really good understanding of what that course load is going to look like for you throughout the entire course and even on a week-by-week level. So it really will allow you to do that. On top of, it will also give you information on how to contact your instructor. It will give you your instructor's availability for outreach if needed. So it's really, like I said, going to set you up for success in doing so. Next is going to be Microsoft Teams. This is our communication platform. You're going to use this to connect with instructors, staff, your peers, and it is also going to be where you're going to attend your live lectures with your instructors. Finally, we're going to go into the career readiness course, the CIAT readiness course. This is a small course that's embedded into Canvas already. If you haven't already completed this, please go into Canvas. You'll see that course. It's a short course. It's going to walk you through everything you need to know before the course begins. It's going to help you navigate Canvas more effectively before you start your class. It's going to review important information for academics, policies. We'll show you how to check your grades and understand some of these expectations academically before you even get into your main course on Monday. So I highly recommend all of you do that as well. And then textbooks. We recommend ordering your textbooks course by course. And the reason we want to do that is to ensure that you are getting the most up-to-date current edition and the most accurate requirements for each of your courses. So we will be dropping a link into the chat right now. This is our textbook list. This is going to list all of our courses and the required materials for each course. So please refer to this at the beginning of, or really the week prior to each of your courses to make sure you are getting that most up-to-date version for your textbook. So quickly, just to recap, we want to make sure you can log into your portal, explore Canvas and Teams, do that CIAT readiness course, make sure you're grabbing your textbook. If you do all of these things prior to Monday, you guys are going to be set up for a nice smooth start. I just want to make sure. Thank you for adding that, Donald. Okay. Types of support. This is something we, again, really pride ourselves here at CIAT. We've built a strong support team for all of you guys to help walk you through every step of the way here. So the first up is your student success advisors. I know I mentioned them earlier. You will probably hear from them within the first 2 weeks, if not already, of your first course. They're going to be your consistent point of contact throughout your program with us. Any questions, big or small, they are here to be your support system. So please reach out, communicate. We are all here to help support you. Next is in your student portal, we have a submit a support request button. It's going to be right at the top before your drop-down menu. And this is an easy way for you to just ask a quick question. You put your name, your student ID in there, and we'll get back to you quite fast if it's just a quick little question you want answered. So please be sure to just keep an eye out for that so you know where to locate it in times of need. Next is academic tutoring. This is another drop-down menu in your portal. You'll see request academic tutoring, and it is completely free to you guys. So we have a team of dedicated faculty and staff ready to help you at any point through your course. It could be about understanding concept or helping prepare for certification exams. Just go ahead and put that submit request button in, and we will be sure to coordinate the right support for you. And then finally, if you think you may benefit from disability support services or accommodations, we have a team here for you as well. We're going to drop the link in here too. We highly encourage you to book an appointment so we can talk through what available resources and accommodations we might be able to provide for you. And again, we want to make sure you're doing these things so we can set you up for success for day one. Okay. How many times can you, let's see some questions here, use academic tutoring? As many times as you want. So we really want to utilize this as an opportunity for you to gain some knowledgeable questions. We do have tons of support available. So if it's something that you think you might want to utilize, we recommend doing it. We love supporting our students with things that may come up. Do we have any other questions really quick in regards to academic tutoring before I move on? No? All right, perfect. All right, let's go into tips for success. So each of our courses are 5 weeks long and they go quickly. So staying engaged throughout the class is very, very important. Yes, Donald, it sometimes can feel like that as well. So you want to make sure you are staying engaged. So when you're logging in regularly, reviewing the syllabus again, creating that plan, keeping up with your assignments, you're building that momentum and study habits that are going to help you thrive and that are going to take you throughout that long-term longevity throughout your program. Okay, so preparation for your live courses. So your live sessions are always going to follow one of two schedules. It's going to be Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, 6 p.m. to 9:30 Pacific Standard Time. I do know that some of you guys could be on the East Coast. These are also recorded, so you will have access to that as well. So we definitely understand that. But you're going to keep the same schedule for the entire course. So for the 5 weeks, you're going to either be Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday throughout that entire term. It's not going to switch in the middle of the course. However, it can change from one course to the next. So again, locating that syllabus and identifying that prior to is going to help you set yourself up for some success there. And then you can also go to Microsoft Teams as well. That is where your live courses will be held. So you will be able to see that. Third, make a plan, create a schedule. We want to encourage everybody. Everyone's lives look different. Some have full-time jobs, parents. Create a plan that truly works for you in your schedule in your life. You'll want to set roughly 20 to 30 hours aside of your coursework to make sure you're staying engaged and feeling confident with all the material as you're progressing through the course. So that could look like mapping out your day. So that could be blocking off study hours, organizing assignments, building weekly routines. That's all going to, again, set you up and continue to keep a balanced life according to the 5 weeks that are going quickly, okay? And then last but not least is to check your student email. This is a vital part of your communication with departments, instructors. Most of our institutional updates are going to go directly to your student email. You're going to want to check this just as frequently as you would your personal email, okay? You're going to be contacted by student services with academic updates or urgent reminders, finance, IT, with lab kits or address verifications. And sometimes they require timely responses. So make sure you're checking those. It's really important. And then just a quick fun fact to keep you guys motivated, students that complete their very first course are far more likely to graduate. So your momentum in these first 5 weeks really does truly matter. And we're really excited to have you guys. All right, I'm just going to quickly check here before I move on. So if you are on the East Coast, it would be yes, roughly around that difference of time, that 9 p.m., which is why those recordings are available. If you can attend as much as you can, but you can catch the back end of those live lectures through those recordings as well. So definitely, if you aren't able to participate through that full session, please go back and look at the recordings. It's going to be really helpful for you long term. Oh, thank you for answering that question as well, Andrea. And yes, the recordings will be located within Teams. Thank you. That was a great question. All right. So let's move on to attendance. So I've mentioned it a few times already, but student engagement is an essential part of your success here. And so our attendance is tracked by 3 weekly checkpoints, which is Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And students are required to complete a minimum of 1 assignment per checkpoint. All right, I'm going to go through this real slowly because I want to make sure everyone fully understands the requirements as well. So just to give you a little bit of a visual, when you open up your classroom, you're going to see all of your assignments are going to be broken up to a week by week basis. So week 1, and you're going to get a list of all the assignments and the requirements that are required of you for that week. It is your responsibility as a student to identify and select 3 of those assignments that, again, work with your schedule. So maybe it's a quiz or discussion and submit 1 of those by each of those checkpoints. All of those assignments are still due by Saturday, end of day. Okay, so again, we want to make sure you take all of those assignments that are due within that 1 week, pick a minimum of 3 of them, and making sure you're submitting them by Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday to meet that checkpoint requirements for that week, and then carry on from week to week doing the same thing. Do you have any quick questions in regards to that before I move forward? So I want to also talk about what counts as far as an assignment submission. So that is labs, assessments, quizzes, discussion forums, replies to your peers. I know that some of our students love to do our discussions and then 2 replies to their students on a Tuesday. Boom, that meets all those requirements for the week. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, those are 3 submissions. But what does not count is just logging in, reading work, watching the lecture. We want to make sure anything that is a gradable submission is what will be counted towards attendance. Correct. Thank you, Ellie. Something will need to be submitted on each of those days correctly to meet those 3 checkpoints. And again, yes, no, live lectures do not count towards that attendance. We want to make sure, again, it's a gradable submission will be something that will count towards the Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday checkpoint. Now, I also want to just quickly refer to working ahead. I know a lot of our students do like to do that as well. We highly encourage you to do so. If you work ahead within the week, submit everything on that Monday or Tuesday, that will count for all 3 checkpoints. Again, it is a minimum of 1 by each of those checkpoints. So if you do all of your work, let's say on Tuesday, those 3 checkpoints have been met for the week. What we don't want is for you to get overly excited and do weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, because then you're not going to meet any of those checkpoints. If you're going to work on ahead for weeks that are coming forward, you'll want to make sure to save those. So submit your week 1 assignment. If you want to work into week 2, save them to your computer. And then come Monday or Tuesday of the week that those assignments are due, then go ahead and submit those. And then that will make sure you're meeting those checkpoints as well. All right, I'm going to take a quick pause and see if I can answer some of these questions as well. Correct, Demarius. Yes, a gradable submission for all 3. And then as far as your, I see you have someone that's working 2 jobs. Can you elaborate on maybe what you're asking or what your question may be in regards to the time? I'm assuming that might be in regards to the live lectures, but I just want to make sure I clarify that before I answer that question. All right. The next thing I do want to touch on as well is that we do have a requirement to the Department of Education that students must maintain attendance within 14 days. If you go 14 days without any attendance or without meeting any of these checkpoints, we will have to move forward with an institutional withdrawal. What I do want to reassure all of you is that you will be getting tons of communication. You should know through your emails, through your student email. You'll get phone calls from your student success advisors. We will be letting you know when you are even getting close to that point. And if something does come up, again, please communicate with us so we can try to navigate and advise you guys in the best way possible. Oh, thank you for helping with that, Donald. And then another quick reminder too is we do have a graduation requirement of a cumulative 80%. So we want to make sure that you are meeting at least 80% of these checkpoints per term or per course to make sure you're meeting that requirement. So making sure, again, on that week by week basis, you're trying to get that Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday checkpoints is really important for your long-term success and making sure we're meeting all of those requirements. Let me see another question here. Yeah, so we do recommend, again, attending the live classes. However, that does not count towards the attendance checkpoints. It is a gradable submission that will count towards those checkpoints. All right, so we will move on to the next slide here. So industry certifications. I want to go over the value, which there is great value because it's going to open up a lot of opportunities for both career placement and advancement to give you competitive edge. So one of our wonderful things that we offer here at CIET is an unlimited certification attempt policy, which is exactly what it sounds like, is that you guys have unlimited attempts. We really want to encourage students that we want to support you every step of the way through your certification process. So continue to study, continue to do that. We want to make sure you have those unlimited attempts until you pass that certification. We want that for you. We have tons of support to help you get there as well. That looks like practice exams, vouchers, tutoring. We have boot camps, test prep workshops. We have a lot of resources to really set you up for success before you even start that first attempt. Okay. And so like I said, the unlimited policy is that if you do not pass that first attempt, you just communicate with us and we'll make sure we get you another voucher. And how you get those vouchers to schedule your exams is by completing practice exams that we provide to you. And we request that all of you guys submit a minimum of 2 practice exams with a score of 90% or better, which that's really going to give us a good feeling for your preparedness for the industry exam itself. And then you can schedule that exam. And if for some reason that you're unsuccessful, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn the areas that you might need to hone in on, or you might need to go, you might need to get some tutoring to make sure I'm grasping that, to allow you to get that information, go back, take it again. Again, we want to make sure we are helping you from one step to the next, no matter what. All right, next course preparation. This is, I want to make sure you guys can move from that very first course that our enrollment coordinator scheduled you for and get you into your next course smoothly. So first, all of your courses are scheduled for you. You don't need to worry about that. That is taken care of by our records department. Okay. What is very important for you guys to all understand is that you must maintain and pass this very first course with a minimum of a C grade or better. And this is going to help you register into the next course. We want to make sure we get to that threshold to make sure you're able to continue your enrollment and go into that next course. Another thing that you're going to want to make sure that you take care of is any financial clearance paperwork. So you want to make sure that that gets done again by the end of this first course. Anything that might be pending or might need signatures or review, all of that gets taken care of prior to the end of this first course as well. You'll probably, again, get a lot of communication from your finance advisors through your portal in regards to anything that may or may not be missing. So please take a look. Another thing is our official transcripts are needed by the end of your first term. I know a lot of you probably have submitted your unofficials, which is fantastic. It kind of gives us a good snapshot of what to expect as far as your course plan. But in order to officially transfer those in, we do need official transcripts on file as well. If you're unsure if you have those, please communicate with your admissions advisor and your student success advisor, and we can help clarify that for you as well. And then lastly, if you are in any of our IT programs, I mentioned it earlier when we were talking about the portal, is we want to be sure you verify your address. And the reason why we want you to do that is we are going to be sending you equipment for some of your courses, and we want to make sure that that equipment gets to your doorstep. So if you are moving or thinking about changing, please make sure that that is updated. And also, if you want to just confirm with your student success advisor as well, we can make sure we can try to catch that ahead of time. You will be getting updates through your classrooms as well as emails if you're getting close to a course that is going to require some equipment to be shipped to you. So please, again, look at that student email. You will be getting information in regards to checking your address on file to make sure we have that on file. Thank you, Nora. If you do want to send those official transcripts in, you'll want to send that again to records@ciet.edu. And then Donald, thank you for that snapshot. That area is in your student portal in the My Information page, and that is where you can verify that address. And there's a little bit of this checkbox right there. You'll be able to click yes, that is where you are currently located, so we can ship that over to you. All right, I am going to hand it over to someone in our Career Services Department, Bezareth.
I think we may have to unmute them. Yep. One moment.
There we go. Let's try that.
There you go. Hello.
There we go. Hi.
Thank you so much for having me here, and welcome all of you new students. We are so happy that you're joining us here. Today, I wanted to provide you a little bit of a recap of how Career Services can support your journey here while you're at CIET, and then hopefully teach you how to use these tools so once you graduate, you can continue to use these resources and tools. So at the Career Center, you will be assigned a designated Career Services advisor who will be able to help you with these following career services. So if you need support with career exploration to help you discover what your strengths and your interests are, we can provide you that support as we talk about your skills and your strengths, resume building as well as provided. You'll have the opportunity to use our Resume AI Builder Skills First alongside your Career Services Advisor to build your resume to help showcase your skills. This is a great tool that your advisor can help you use so that you can ensure that your resume is a perfect match to whatever job applications you're trying to submit. Your advisor can also provide you support in the job search process. They can help you accessing opportunities in Handshake or even through LinkedIn or different platforms like Glassdoor, Indeed. So we can provide you support with that. If you need help with identifying keywords to help you identify what opportunities or what positions are out there, we would be happy to support you through that. Interview preparation as well. So if you have an interview or you want to prepare for a future interview, we can provide you mock interviews or just overall interview preparation. Go over typical questions that are asked during interviews. We can role play to ensure that you know what to answer during those interviews, that you know how to talk about your soft skills and your hard skills, your technical skills. And then networking. We also provide support with developing your LinkedIn profile so that you can use it to use your LinkedIn profile for networking, to learn those strategies to grow your professional connections, to connect with other professionals in the industry, or even alumni that are already working in the industry. So I would encourage you to book an appointment with your career services advisor via Handshake. You all will have access to Handshake, which is the appointment platform that we use. You will be automatically added to Handshake towards the end of your second or third week of your classes. Once your account has been activated automatically, then you can go ahead and access booking appointments and accessing the job platform. So overall, you can be able to access us via Handshake. You can also email us. You will be receiving an email as well from your from your career services advisor towards the end of your second and third week. You will receive emails or calls and you'll know who your advisor is. But overall, that is how we support students with career. I'm going to go ahead and check the chat just to see if there are any questions. Let me see. All righty. Let me load the new messages. Okay. It looks like there's no questions regarding career, but if you do encounter a question, please feel free to reach out to your advisor so that they can provide you some support and refer you to career if that's needed. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, we are going to hand it over to Cindy in finance. Let's see.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. All righty. So my name is Cindy Garvey. I am the financial aid advising manager here at CIAT. I am excited to welcome you all today and welcome you to the CIAT family. So today I'm going to be talking to you about some financial aid topics that are going to be very important for you to know, not only now as you start your journey here at CIAT, but also as you go through your next few classes and your career journey here. So first and foremost, I know most of you may have already started applying for the FAFSA. The FAFSA is not a one and done. The FAFSA is something that you will need to complete every single academic year. Our financial aid coordinators will send you a reminder if you have any questions in regards to when that application will open for the next academic year. Typically, we will advise you when that is readily available so that you can go ahead and start that application. At this point, you would have completed the FAFSA for 26-27, and we'll send you notification if you have any questions in regards to that. In order for you to maintain eligibility for your financial aid, you must meet those requirements every year. For example, making sure that you stay on top of your academics, you still have to meet your GPA requirements, and you have to meet with our financial aid coordinators in case there are any, questions in regards to your financial aid that may be needing answers. So I know Erin mentioned this at the beginning, but it is super important. That's how we communicate with you. It is through email. So please always feel free if you get a question from us. I know sometimes finance and financial aid can be a little tricky to navigate, especially with the lingo, but please feel free to call us and we are more than happy to explain it further and help you through any of those emails that you may be getting. The first thing that you're going to be receiving from us is a offer letter, your financial aid package. So you're going to be seeing in this offer letter any federal loans, any federal grants that you may have been offered when you met with your financial aid advisor upon enrollment. Please feel free to review it and give us a call if you have any questions. You do have to sign it promptly in order for us to be able to disperse those funds at a appropriate timeline. You will receive a letter with the disbursement dates, which will indicate when we're getting ready to disperse those funds. So it is very important for you to review that letter, not only for you to be able to review the amounts that were offered to you, but also to see what else is coming up the pipeline in regards to disbursements. Okay, if you have any questions in regards to offer letters, you should be receiving that in the next few weeks. Feel free to email us. The next thing is financial literacy and budgeting. I know that you have heard this before. It is very important to make sure that you are budgeting ahead and making sure that you're managing your finances effectively. The biggest reason why we mention that is because life happens. We all know that we have other things other than school, right? We have, a home, work, all these different things as I'm seeing in the chat, right? So we want to make sure that if just in case we do need to take a break from school and we need to take a leave of absence, that we are, making sure that our financial aid is set up appropriately in case we need to change our funding. Which leads me to creating a budget. You want to make sure that you're tracking your expenses for things like textbooks that are not included, right? You want to make sure that you're covering those out of pocket expenses. Okay. And make sure that you are utilizing your resources. We are your resource, your financial aid coordinators and your financial aid advisors. Feel free to reach out to us and let us know if you have any questions. Your financial aid coordinators are going to be here to support you throughout your academic journey. And right here on the screen, feel free to jot it down, is our phone number and our email. Now, I do see that that information was also posted on the chat. I also see that we have a question in regards to the bachelor's degree. Thanks, Steph, for answering that question. At this time, we do not offer the FAFSA for our bachelor's degree, but we are consistently working with the Department of Ed to be able to offer that hopefully in the near future. Once that does become available, we will be sending out some information via email so that we can appropriately assist you. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat and we're happy to assist you. Thank you. I'll pass it back to you, Erin.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is just another quick reminder. If you are utilizing military benefits, to please attend the military brief at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. I'll have Donald, if you can, just drop that back into the chat as well, just so it's available to all the students that need to attend. And now we can open up for questions and answers. So if anybody has any questions, just raise your hand and I can unmute you guys and we can try to answer those questions for you. All right. I'm going to go Leland. I'll go ahead and unmute you here.
I had a question if the meeting comments will be recorded so we can utilize them for later.
The comments in the chat for the orientation?
Yeah, is it possible to use those for later along with the meeting?
Yes, you should have access to both.
Okay, thank you. That is all.
No problem. No problem. All right, let's go over to John.
Oh, I can unmute. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
I just wanted to say good evening. I just wanted to confirm also that this book that I was sent, is this the correct book that we're supposed to have currently?
It depends on your program. I would recommend following up with your student success advisor. We can look that up for you and put that into the chat and then we can confirm that. Or you can also utilize the textbook link to just double check as well. That would be the most up-to-date version.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right, let's go here. We have Corey. Unmute your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you? Yeah, so the follow up with what I think his name is Leland just asked, this recording, it'll be in the Microsoft Teams, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? We're here to help you with any kind of clarification. If you guys have any of that, we're happy to help. Oh. All right, Damaris, I will unmute your mic. And then you should be able to unmute in the top right-hand corner as well. It should be enabled for you. All right, I'll go ahead and move over to Lucas really quick and we'll come back. I'm going to unmute your mic,
Okay, ma'am.
Lucas.
Can you hear
Oh.
me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yes, ma'am. So on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, you're expecting us to in other words, y'all are basically taking roll on whether we've done our courses or done our homework. So on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, we have to do we have to complete some homework and it
That is correct. Yes.
Okay, for us to submit something.
Yes. That is absolutely correct. So by Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, just pick one of those gradable assignments and go ahead and submit that. Once you submit that on that Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, that will mark you present for the attendance checkpoint.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
No problem. All right, let's go over to Lucas.
Hello. Apologies. Can you remind me of where we go to confirm our address?
Yes, that will be in your student portal in the My Information page. You might want to scroll down just a hair, and then there will be a little box there for you to put your address in. And then also there will be two, I don't want to say toggles, but little buttons that you can either verify or not verify. But if you know that that's where you're going to be for the next few months, then you can go ahead and verify that. Just be sure to go back and change it if anything changes. And Donald just also went ahead and put in a screenshot as well for you.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right. We'll go over to, looks like Jamar. You should be able to unmute your mic. Should be at the top right-hand corner. There will be the little mic icon. You can go ahead and unclick that, and then you should be able to get sound. And then if not, you can also type out your chat in the type out your question in the chat as well. And we can try to answer it that way. All right, while we're working on that, I did see another question come in. Submission for assignments happen 3 times a week for the next 5 weeks, correct? So the attendance is going to stay the same for every single course. You're wanting to meet those Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday checkpoints. Okay. Looks like I will go ahead and go over to Crystal. I went ahead and I unmuted your mic. You able to unmute that, Crystal?
We go. Okay.
There we go.
My
Yeah.
apologies. Good
Oh,
afternoon.
you're fine. Good afternoon.
So I was listening in on the Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday attendance checkpoint, and part of that attendance checkpoint, you were saying that an assignment would be submitted each of those days. So there's 3
Correct.
assignments each week?
There's more than 3 assignments. There's a good chunk of them, I'll say, just for a number, we'll say 12, right? So out of the 12 assignments that are due at the end of the week, it's your responsibility as a student to identify out of that chunk of assignments which 3 you want to submit by those Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday checkpoints.
Okay. And when you say 12, is that 12?
That was like a hypothetical number. It can vary from course to course. But there's a number of different assignments that could be there. It could be knowledge checkpoints. It could be quizzes. There's a midterm final. There's discussion posts and responses to your peers. So there's a good variety of different types of submissions throughout the week of the required coursework. So it's up to you to identify which one's going to work best for you. So maybe on Tuesday, like I said, doing discussion post because it's a lighter day for you as an individual, then go ahead and do that. Or maybe you can only do a quick quiz but it's just picking and identifying one of those assignments to submit by those 3 days.
Okay, and discussion posts do count as submission.
Correct. Anything that will be graded by your instructor and graded in general will be considered an assignment. So if you're clicking a submit button, then it would be considered a submission.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Thank you for clarifying.
No problem. I'm glad I can answer these questions.
Thank you. I can mute.
All right. Jamar, I do see you had some questions in regards to traveling for midterms and finals. If you are a military student, that will be something that will be covered in the military brief. And the exams the exam schedule for those do open at the beginning of the term. No. So, Damaris, if you submit less than 3 assignments within that week, it's not something that would cause you to fail the course. You would just be marked absent for one of those checkpoints. But we do encourage you to try to submit as much of those assignments as possible because that's going to increase your grade substantially. So, completing all of your work is a big requirement to ensure you pass the class. And again, yeah, anything that's regarding any kind of hybrid status or military information that will be covered in the military brief. Oh, no problem. Anytime. Any other questions that you guys might have? All right, well, that wraps up the orientation. I'll stay on for a few more minutes just in case if anybody trickles in with more questions. But thank you all so much for joining us. We're so excited for you, and we look forward to supporting you through this journey of yours starting on Monday. Congratulations. We're excited. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, you guys are free to go. We're here to support with any questions you might have. But oh, thank you. Yeah, we're really excited for you guys as well. And you will get assigned Student Success Advisor, Damaris. I'm sure we'll reach out to you shortly. We're very excited. Give it about 1 or 2 more minutes and then we'll go ahead and close the session. The scheduling for your courses will be done through the records department. So you don't need to worry about that. That will be taken care of for you by the records department. No problem. Thank you, Leland. You have a wonderful day. Have a good weekend. All right. So as far as the course to course, we do have a 1-week break after every 2 courses. We will, I recommend talking to your student success advisor. We can also send you the course schedule so you guys have availability to that as well, so you can plan ahead if need be. And I don't believe, if your books don't get here until next week, you should still be okay. The class starts on Monday, so you know, you can communicate with your student success advisor and or your instructor, but I think you'll be fine as long as they're coming by that Tuesday, Wednesday. I think you'll be just fine. Anytime. All right, well, I will go ahead and wrap this up. If anything comes up, please let us know. We look forward to working with everybody. You have a wonderful day. All right, bye guys.